All right, next up we have Chiefs at Chargers. This is going to be a Friday night game. I do have this listed as a best bet. I'm going to be going with the Chiefs on this one. The odds are actually pretty good if you select the Chiefs, minus 168. Not bad money at all right there for what I think should be a pretty, I don't want to say easy win, but guaranteed win in regards to them. The Chargers, don't get me wrong, should be a really solid team this year. And they're going to be really competitive, especially with this being a home game for them. I just think that the Chiefs don't come off that humiliating Super Bowl loss without a lot of firepower and energy. There's a lot of talk this offseason about Patrick Mahomes and the offense really focusing on being more explosive, of really putting more instead of just squeaking out wins like they did last year. Really actually being a dominant offense like they once were with Tyreek Hill. And I definitely think they'll have the weapons to do that. So let's take a look at the rosters here. Starting with the Chiefs, I don't love how there's all these random blanks and they have everything kind of broken up here. But just kind of looking at this, Rashee Rice, we know he's going to be suspended for the first 6 games. So you can't count on him when he comes back. I think that offense is going to be pretty hard to stop. But even in the meantime, Hollywood Brown, I think, is a solid player. Came on at the end of last year after the injury, did pretty well. Xavier Worthy, a lot of people think will take a step forward. We'll see. I don't necessarily know if I see that in him besides a deep threat, but him as a deep threat and as a screen catcher is good enough to make a huge impact. Juju is another player that is definitely on the decline, but when you need a catch, he will make it. He'll be there. I think our offensive line remains solid as it has been for years. It's an Andy Reid staple. Travis Kelce has admitted in the offseason that over the past 2 years, he's focused on a lot of things outside of football, which is why his production has dropped. But he didn't then say, but I'm going to refocus on football. He kind of just stuck with, it is what it is, deal with it. And a lot of people think this is his final year. If that's the case, he's going to go out with a Super Bowl win. At least that will be his plan. I think Mahomes knows how big of an impact he has on the offense, so that's their plan. Pacheco being healthy this year is going to be a huge deal. I have him on my fantasy team. I think he will be a solid, not a top running back, but a solid running back as he always is. So you look at their defense. So on defense, they still have a lot of the same, players that have made an impact for them over the years. Defensive line is still solid. Still have 2 really good, 3 really good linebackers, you could say. I saw that Trent McDuffie they're not going to be able to get the deal done, which I think is crazy because he has 2 years left on his deal anyways. So why are we even talking about it? But should be solid at the corners. That's their plan. And then their safeties are always good enough, never great. Their defense should be okay. I think their defense will be okay. Looking at the Chargers, I want to give a lot of respect to their offense. I love that they brought Keenan Allen back. I think he's going to be he has been a great player. I think he still is a great player. A lot of people think he's kind of past his prime. And if he is, he's just barely past his prime, in my opinion. A lot of people took Glad McConkey really high in fantasy. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. However, he is a good player and makes big plays. So he's kind of the man in regards to that. Quentin Johnston, still don't love that he's extremely up or down. In my opinion, he's a liability in regards to his lack of consistency. I don't love that. I don't love their tight ends. A lot of backup guys that haven't really done much. I think Najee helps. They're running a scheme, especially with Harbaugh there. And then a lot of people took Omar Hampton high in the fantasy drafts as well. I think he should be definitely a solid running back. And then Justin Herbert, as we know, is great, but has never had the postseason success to be regarded as a top quarterback, I guess you could say. So will their team be good? Yes, it will be good. Will they be able to beat the Chiefs? I don't see it. The Chiefs have always had their number. I think the Chiefs I think Harbaugh's a great coach, but I think Andy Reid is better at putting together a plan. I think their defense is fine. Still have Derwin James. Beyond that, Khalil Mack kind of going out. I don't think they have any standouts on defense, so I think their team will be fine. I just don't see a win this first week. Again, the odds are pretty good, regardless of who you pick. If you do think the Chargers are going to pull off the upset, decent money, not as great as a typical upset, but the Chiefs, I think, are a really good play here.